Bryan Danielson, Roman Reigns, Will Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, Gangrel, Kenny Omega. If you were to sit down right now and predict the top contenders for Wrestler of the Year next year, these are probably going to be the kind of people that you bring up. But today, we're going to take a different approach and look at some names that might not be the most obvious, but could at the very least enter the conversation in 2022. These are the dark horses who absolutely have what it takes to become very, very important pieces of 2020's biggest wrestling conversations. I'm Andy from What Culture, and here are 10 wild outside bets to win Wrestler of the Year 2022. Number 10, Serena DEEB. Injury restricted Serena DEEB to only 11 matches in 2021 at the time of recording, but during that time she has demonstrated her in-ring prowess at every opportunity, whether working some of the best AEW matches of the year with Riho and Hikaru Shida, or elevating less experienced wrestlers like Camille and Ty Conti. Reminiscent of Bret Hart in how she maximizes every minor technical detail, if you can get DEEB on television working, 10 to 12 minutes every other week, bringing her salty veteran character with her, there's no reason that she can't help lead a struggling division to new heights. She's already the best wrestler in that division, and all it takes now is a little bit better luck with injuries and a couple of big-time feuds. Number 9, Shane Strickland. Hit Row never stood a chance on WWE's main roster, but Isaiah Swerve Scott, who will likely go back to his old ring name, Shane Strickland, has everything it takes to blow up as a national TV star, and likely will do as soon as that pesky non-compete expires. And of all the wrestlers cast aside by WWE in 2021, he is the one that promoters should be racing to book first. The guy just oozes star power, and watching him prove that people who cut him from the main roster after just 4 weeks wrong is going to be an absolute treat. Number 8, Yuki Ueno. If you haven't been watching DDT this past couple of years, you have missed out on some pretty incredible wrestling away from the comedy stuff. In Yuki Ueno, DDT has one of the most promising high flyers and sympathetic baby faces in the world. Though he is frequently compared to Kota Ibushi, Ueno is nonetheless carving his own lane. And after a tremendous Universal title run and a charge through the Grand Prix tournament in DDT this year, the 26-year-old has ascended. Already one of the best Japanese wrestlers working out of New Japan and Stardom, Ueno works with the poise of somebody with triple his experience. And now that he's coming into his own as a character too, the guy's gonna be unstoppable. Expect big things from him in 2022. Number 7, Kevin Steen. I'm not going to rule out the possibility that Kevin Owens stays with WWE completely, but whatever the case, Big Kev has had one of the strongest runs of any wrestler who has ever been called up from NXT. His popularity has endured, he makes the most of everything, and as somebody who has enjoyed his WWE run a lot over the past few years, I'm pretty excited to see what he can do in 2022. Number 6, Eddie Kingston. He's in the form of his life on national television for the first time in his career. His crowd connection is second to none. I mean, the guy turned people against CM Punk, for goodness sake, and with a sustained push to the top of the pile culminating in a cathartic main event triumph as he finally wins the big one, 2022 could well be the year of the Mad King. Number 5, Momo Watanabe. The problem with having a roster as talented as Stardom's, as stacked as Stardom's, where Shuri, Julia, Utami Hayashishita, Mayu Iwatani, and many, many more are delivering excellence every single night, is that other world-class talents, and the company has dozens of them, are inevitably forgotten about. Finding a seat at the top table and making headlines is tough in Stardom, and in Watanabe, the promotion has a potential cornerstone who likely have to be patient for a big opportunity. Should these opportunities arise in 2022, there is absolutely no reason that Momo can't have the same kind of year that Utami's just had. A three-dimensional wrestler who's just as great as a sympathetic babyface as she is a murderous heel, Momo's gonna soar as soon as she stops playing stepping stone to other stars. Number 4, Daniel Garcia. In my eyes, this guy is the future of American technical wrestling. This is as much for his work on the indies as in AEW, where really, in AEW on TNT, he's just getting started. He was an excellent heel world champion in Limitless, proving his prowess as a potential top guy. And if he continues down the same path, he will absolutely be the same thing on national TV someday. A great technical wrestler with elite facial expressions and mastery of his character that has a chip on his shoulder and a massive fragile ego, Garcia's already tremendous, and he's only 23. He's the kind of guy who really makes you wonder, when you pass the 30 mark, what the hell you've done with your life. It's kind of depressing, actually. He's just so good already. Number 3. Thunder Rosa. This one's quite easy. Thunder Rosa is a great wrestler who cuts a great promo, and she's over as hell. That she can go weeks and weeks without wrestling on TNT and still receive amazing reactions is testament to her incredible crowd connection. So it stands to reason that if you push her in a more prominent role, she's going to crush it. Tony, it's time to fire up the Britt Baker feud again. It could be the tonic that AEW's women's division needs to hit the next level. Number 2. Matt Cardona. This one will be particularly surprising to WWE fans who maybe haven't kept up with Matt Cardona since he stopped being Zack Ryder, but the guy is currently one of the biggest heat magnets in North America. And if he can keep that going, if he can sustain that heat for a full year, we are in for one hell of a ride. The dissonance between Cardona's sports entertainment goobery and GCW's booze and blood-soaked mayhem is such easy heat, man. And with GCW now established as arguably the third biggest promotion in the United States, I mean, they just sold out the Hammerstein. He's gonna go viral every single time he appears, so strap in, because his 2022 is going to be a lot of fun. And at number 1, El Generico. Like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn might not leave WWE when his contract expires in early 2022, but if he does, get ready, because El Generico is set for one hell of a year. Dropping that gimmick for WWE was a wise choice that allowed him to get over in bigger buildings with a different breed of fans. That being said, if Generico decides to put the mask back on, grab that Bouncing Souls Olay MP3 and hit the road, he'd be a cult hero once more. So that's our list. But what do you guys think? Let us know down in the comment section below, and feel free to call me mental for calling Zack Ryder a future Wrestler of the Year contender. After that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Then you can follow us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE and myself at Andy H. Murray, or you can feel free to call me an idiot for picking Zack Ryder for a Wrestler of the Year list. Goodbye. Matt Cardona's really good.